It's that breaking news that we're following. This tragedy in Brooklyn, that apartment fire killing a family of three, a mother and her two daughters.
Yeah, so terribly sad. The fatal fire breaking out around 5 o'clock this morning in Bedford-Stuyvesant. And that's where our Pix 11's Anthony DiLorenzo is live with the very latest. Anthony, what can you tell us?
Oh, Hazel and Dan, a terribly tragic morning here on Gates Avenue in Brooklyn. The victim's father has been out here this morning along with other family members, showing up in tears after learning this mother and her two young girls died in the fire right here behind us pre-dawn. They were on the third floor. Fire officials tell us that it was contained to the third floor apartment where they lived, believing the fire began in their kitchen. Firefighters raced here as soon as they were called, got here in 3 minutes, but tragically they believe the fire had been going and it was too late. As they pulled the three victims from that building, they were not breathing. They had burns to their body, suffering from smoke inhalation, trying their best to revive them, but ultimately it was too late. Other residents inside this apartment building got out on their own. We saw them taking out pets this morning, the American Red Cross helping these families out. Ultimately, it is believed that some folks will be able to go back into their building. But right now, we are still trying to determine from fire officials what the cause may have been. Again, they believe this started in a back bedroom. The victims' ages, that mother, 40 years old, her daughters 8 and 10, again dying in a pre-dawn fire here. Members of the local clergy in the community saying that they prayed with the victim's family at the hospital, but tragically there was nothing doctors could do. Listen to hear from the fire chief of EMS, who told us what rescuers tried to do in order to save these victims' lives.
Hydroxycobalamin we utilize for cyanide overdoses. Basically, wood as well as other chemicals inside of the homes. When they burn, they push out cyanide. Cyanide displaces oxygen, so we utilize that so that we can reverse the effects and therefore give oxygen on the cellular level to the patient's tissues.
But again, those victims just took in too much smoke. They never regained consciousness and never were able to breathe on their own. Again, they were pronounced dead at the hospital. So far, they have not yet been identified. No one else was hurt in this fire, and officials who are investigating are looking into whether ultimately there were any smoke detectors that were working, again, because they believe this fire had an advanced start before they arrived.